Hey guys, it's Sharika and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I would love to have you. So today we have my little sister Kalila here.
Hey y'all.
And we are doing a seafood boil. We have some Dungeness crabs, shrimp, corn, potatoes, mussels, cucumber, and sausage. I have my Florida butter here. For today's drink, we're just doing a strawberry water. So let's say grace and we'll begin. All right, toast. Sisters. Y'all, now as soon as we sat down, the dogs wanted to start barking. We have not heard those dogs in about 4 days. So they're trying my whole life. We also have the mayo and mustard dip back here. I just didn't have any room on the plate. So let's go ahead and get started. This is Kalila's first time trying the Florida butter. So you let me know, girl. Let me know what it's giving.
You do it every time.
So good. I like to eat it with the mussels and the king crab. With the Dungeness crab, I like to use the mayo and mustard dip. Okay, we're gonna get a little close up. Look at that.
Y'all, this been my craving. I couldn't wait till I came up here.
Oh, the muscles so good. All right, y'all, so we do have a story time today. Now this story time is from Locked Up Abroad.
Locked Up Abroad.
Locked Up Abroad. Have you ever saw that show? Look at that show. Oh, it's a little hot. Okay. Oh, let me get some. You gotta squeeze some lemon on your shrimp or whatever. I squeeze it on anything I feel like squeezing it on, child. Ooh, it's all right. So it started off with this girl. Oddly enough, her name was Kalila.
That's still my name.
Right. So she was a single mom, and she really kind of was down on her luck. She was like staying with friends and family. Like they were always staying at different places, her and her daughter. So one day she went to a party. And she met this dude. He was like some kind of big time producer that lived in Miami. So he approached her and he told her he thought she was beautiful. And he said, you need to just come back home with me. But he lived in Miami. So he's like, you just need to come back home with me. So she's like, what? You crazy? Like, we just met. I have a daughter. So he was like, I'll take care of you and your daughter. I'll give you guys the best life. Just come back, be my lady. That's all you have to do. You don't have to work. I'll take care of you. So because, you know, she was down on her luck,
She fell for it, child.
she fell for it. I'm making a mess. So they got to Miami. and he had a really nice apartment in Miami. Really nice apartment. He had it set up to where the daughter's room was like a princess room. Everything was nice. So months go by. Everything is great. But he eventually starts showing her his controlling side. You crunching the heck out of them.
I'm listening to this song. I'm getting good.
So one day she was trying to go somewhere and he was basically telling her she couldn't go anywhere. So she was like, you can't tell me what to do. I do whatever I want to do. So that's my crab, but you can eat. Go ahead, just eat it. So one day he came back home after, you know, they had this big blowout argument. He came home with some tickets and he said, I know things moved kind of fast with us. We were doing so great at first. Let's just start over. Let's take a trip to Panama for a week. He said that his sister would watch her daughter. So they get to Panama. Everything's great. First 2 days, they're having an amazing time. On the third day, she wake up. He's not there. She go downstairs to have breakfast. He never showed up. So she didn't really think too much of it. She went and laid out by the pool. So he stood over her and said, I need you to come back to the room with me, like now. So she said at this time, while she's walking back to the room, she just knew like it was about to be like an argument. He's not saying nothing to her. The whole time they walk into the room, he didn't say anything. So they get to the room and he tells her, look, I have to leave. I have to leave, but I don't want to mess up your vacation. I want you to stay the rest of the week in Panama, enjoy the carnival, and we'll just finish up our vacation in Paris. Just meet me in Paris. So she's like,
In Paris?
Mm-hmm. She always wanted to go to Paris, so
Okay.
he knew that would kind of get her to, you know, stay.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, no, I don't want to stay here by myself. No. So he was like, listen, I got everything. I got your daughter. Enjoy the rest of your vacation. And I'll see you in Paris. But when you get ready to leave, I need you to bring this bag with you. So it was a black bag. And he gave her $1,000 and said, enjoy the rest of your trip. See you in Paris, and walked out. So she's confused, she crying, she's scared. She didn't really know what to think. She don't know what's going on with this bag. She look inside the bag is empty, but the bag is heavy. So she knew something wasn't right, but she tried not to even think about it. She looked in her stuff to see if he took her ticket back home. He took that with him.
So she had to stay.
So she had to stay. So she tried to get her mind off of things. She went, partied a little bit, went to the carnival, you know, trying to have a good time, not trying to think about, you know, the negative. She didn't think her dude would do that to her, so she's like, okay, I'm gonna just enjoy myself. So Ooh. The next morning, the phone rings. She answers the phone, it's him. So he's like, hey. She's like, hey? fool, don't you know you left me in Panama? Where's my daughter? He was like, are you enjoying your trip? Enjoying my trip? Fool, where's my daughter?
Right.
So he's like, your daughter's good. You want to talk to her? Here she goes. She's right here. She got on the line. Hi, Mom. By this time, her daughter was calling the dude Daddy. She was like, Daddy took me here. We did this. We were just having a good time. Blah, 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 blah. So her daughter's fine. So he said, this guy's going to call you. And I want you to do exactly what he tells you to do. And then he hung up. So now she is really scared. So the phone rings and it's a guy and he said, come downstairs. I'm here to pick you up. They go to a local coffee shop. The guy can tell that she was very nervous because she was sweating and she was just acting strange. So he said, I need you to act as normal as possible. He said, here's this ticket, this bus ticket. Your bus leaves tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And I need you to get on that bus. You have to go to Costa Rica first. Because she was thinking that she could just leave Panama and go straight to Paris. No, she had to go to Costa Rica. The taxi was going to come pick her up to take her to the bus station. So make sure you follow these directions. And then, so she's like, okay. Then he mentions, so I heard you had a daughter. You know, to kind of scare her to make sure you get your behind on that bus. So, long story short, the taxi came, took her to the bus station. The people had a line. The guards and stuff lined a bunch of them up. Brought out the guard dogs, had them sit their bags on the side. And they were sniffing the bags and stuff like that. So it was this one dog that just kept hanging around the bag, but he didn't smell anything. So the guy pulled the dog off and told everybody they can go ahead and get on the bus. So of course she excited, she can breathe now. She made it past this. She's gonna go ahead, go where she need to go so this can be over with. So when she gets to the airport in Costa Rica, she told the lady that she wanted to buy the ticket to go to Paris. The lady says, well, you can't buy a ticket from Costa Rica to Paris. You have to go to Cuba. So you got to go to Cuba to buy the ticket to Paris. So she's like, oh my gosh, man, I just want this to be over with. She puts her bag on the belt. She decides to go have dinner. And then she would have to get a room because she had to spend the night until tomorrow because there were no more flights for that night. So when she went to get dinner, she seen this young girl that was there by herself. So she went over and talked to her and stuff. And the girl told her, you know, she was traveling alone. So they just hung out for the rest of the day. And they both got on the same flight to Cuba. By the end of the night, they said, well, let's just get a room together because both of them were going to Paris. So they agreed to get the room together. So when Kalila got in the room, she noticed that the girl had the exact same bag. Right? So she said she didn't want to ask her anything about the bag because, you know, she had this friend. It's kind of, you know, making her feel a little more comfortable with what she had to do. She didn't feel like she was by herself, so she didn't want to mess up that little friendship that she had made with the other girl. So the girl comes out and say, I haven't been completely honest with you. There's drugs in my bag. So Kalila said, I don't know what's in my bag. So the girl tell her, well, I don't think we should get on the same plane tomorrow She said, why don't you take another flight? I have some extra money. I'll pay for a different ticket. So Kalila like, no, you know, I've been going through it. I'm ready to get this over with. I'm getting on that plane tomorrow. I don't care. I'm getting on that plane. So they get to the airport and they're standing in the line. A guy walked out with a black suit on and walked right up to the other girl, not Kalila, but the other girl that she met. And the girl kind of hugged him, you know, hugged him like she knew him already. So the girl whispered something to the guy. And then she walked right on through and was able to get on her plane. Never looked back at Kalila. So all of a sudden, the guy comes back out and tells Kalila to step out of the line. So they go to this room. They had the bag, Kalila's bag, in the room. So he said, is there anything that you would like to tell me? What's in this bag? So Kalila was like, there's nothing in the bag, just my clothes and stuff like that. So they said, okay, well, do you mind if we check? And it was like 3 or 4 guys in the room. They ripped the bag apart. It was just clothes inside the bag. But they noticed the bag was still heavy. So they go to cutting through the bag. Found 2 big things of drugs. So they look at Kalila. And he said, you know you're in a lot of trouble, right? So she's like, that's not mine. I don't even know what that is. So he's like, okay, well, we're going to do a test on it. If it turns blue, it's drugs and you're in a lot of trouble. You'll be facing 15 to 30 years in jail.
It was crack or something.
They did the test. It turned blue. The guys came in and arrested her because it tested positive for coke. So they arrest her. She in there crying and telling her, you know, 15 to 30 years. She crying and everything. She's the only American locked up in that jail. And no one speaks English. She didn't speak Spanish. So of course she is scared, terrified. So while she's in her cell, they slide her a letter that gave her how long she was going to be locked up in Cuba in jail. 15 years, y'all. 15 years. So she freaked out. She like, oh my gosh. Then she told them that it wasn't her drugs. She told them the whole story. So she was able to speak to a guy. He did tell her that her daughter was with her mom and that her boyfriend was on the run. So she ended up doing 6 years. They let her out, early release, because of good behavior. And she never spoke to the guy again.
She never seen him?
She never seen him. She never spoke to him again. That was crazy, right? Okay, guys, so I hope you're done eating. If you're eating with me, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the next 2 videos at the bottom of the screen, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.